Hey guys, this is the video on A8, which is working on the developmentally appropriate practices, which is DAP. So our book tells us that these are a set of guidelines that were given to us by the National Association for Education of Young Children. And with these guidelines, we know that there are certain things to look for at certain ages of a child's development. This is called age appropriateness. And so we have to remember that each child is an individual. However, you also have to understand that just because a child is an individual, at a certain age, they should be doing certain things physically and even have a little bit of knowledge. Like when they are between 0 and 3 months of age, they should actually start understanding voices, the different voices, and especially of a mother. Babies tend to figure out whose voice their mother, what voice their mother has, and so as they get older, they start crawling at a certain age. They start sitting up at a certain age. Now that's not to say that at 3 months of age or 5 months of age they're going to be sitting up on their own. That means that between the age of maybe 4 to 6 months, they should be sitting up. I've had 4 children. They're all grown. I think my youngest one is 15. And with my first one, I really didn't know exactly what to expect. And this was back in the 90s. In fact, my oldest one was born in 1990. And we didn't have the internet to tell us what to expect our child to be doing at that age. And I honestly do not remember the pediatrician even telling me things like that. But with my third child, she was born in 2001, and I do remember her pediatrician asking every visit, he was saying, is she doing this yet? Is she doing that yet? So I was able to tell him, yes, this is going on. She's babbling at such and such an age. She's doing this, she's doing that. So the age appropriateness is huge because that lets you know, especially in the physical aspect, a little bit about when your child should be doing what they're doing. And if they're not, you should seek you should seek help at that time. And again, your pediatrician should be asking you questions. The other one is individual appropriateness. We have to understand, again, that each child is different. And again, even though one child may speak around the age of 1.5, another one could speak at the age of 3. That's not usually the way it goes at 3. But some do, and they turn out just fine. Social and cultural appropriateness, you should have a chance to see how your child is interacting with other children, especially if they go to a daycare or a preschool. We are able to see how they interact with other children, learning how to share, cooperation, things like that. Another one is intellectual. The learning of the ABCs at a certain age is important, and of course, you'll see a child who goes to a preschool. They learn a little bit easier than everybody else, or they're forced to learn you know, it's a repetition thing, really. You know, they can do it through song or something. And with preschools, you would have the 3-year-olds usually start doing the ABC songs or counting and doing different things like that. With the going back to the age appropriateness, I have more of a concept of that than I do the rest of them. Because it can break down into the domains of physical, emotional, social, and cognitive, and that's the biggest thing. Because the physical, of course, is if they're able to do the certain things that children should be able to do as they get older. I found this chapter to be really interesting. I tried to locate a great video for the example, and it's hard to find one that has to do with a lot of different disabilities. Most of them were of autism. I could not find very many that had anything to do with wheelchairs or anything else.